Welcome each and every one of you to the Saturday Reset. Bit of a beautiful, gorgeous Saturday. Let me see. I have someone on the line, I believe. Let me see. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Alright. I don't know if I could hear a song by Andrew Tanker. Thanks for the music.
Hey, this is my guy who loves Andre Tonkers. Thanks for the music. I know I recognize it in your voice, man.
Okay, thank you.
I will definitely do it. Now, I'm just letting you know that we're actually going to be starting our segment now at 9:15, a little after 9:15. Can I play that for you at 9:45?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Enjoy. All right, so that's what is a little bit different. Usually we start with about 15 minutes of request hour time. We weren't able to do that this morning, but first let me just give a hearty, warm thank you to our darling people, Sherilyn Lewis and crew. You all were fantastic this morning. Thank you for holding it down for me. In the meantime, we're going to be starting our show. And that show, of course, is called The Rhythm Section. Yes, so now the Rhythm Section is not just about music. All right? It is about the life force of our community. And we are doing that. Everything that brings that rhythm, that life force that we have, be it social, be it political, be it geography, whatever the topic is about that deals with us, well, that's what we're going to be talking about. So I have an amazing guest today. All right, so let me just tell you a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today on the Rhythm Section. I'm joined by Roger Moore, CEO of Remax Real Estate Group in Trinidad and Tobago. And we're going to be exploring a question, a very big question here in Trinidad and Tobago. And actually across the whole Caribbean can be joining us in here. So shout outs to all of my Caribbean brothers and sisters in and around the world. How do Caribbean people build ownership in a rapidly changing world? So we're going to be doing that now. And before I'm going to have to bring him into the studio, let's, without further delay, say good morning to Roger Moore.
Morning.
Good morning.
Very nice introduction.
You're welcome. I hope you're good.
Very good. I'm good all the time.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's true. I don't think I've ever seen you with a bad day.
Oh.
And if you are, you deal with it super fast and super focused and get right back to that happy space.
Because I'm in such a happy country, man. This country is doing very well, and every day that we get to operate and do business is a blessed day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good tagline. Every day I can get to do business is a blessed day.
Oh yeah.
So Roger, back to the conversation that the question that I asked. You know, we're in a world right now where there are wars going on in the background. There are potential recessions. Some places would say recessions. Things are happening, and we are impacted here in not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How do you, as I said before, the ownership, Caribbean people can find themselves in this ever-changing world? How can we work on that?
By acquiring more skills and of course mastering sales, and you know this opportunity that we're in, I have to call it an opportunity. It's a rare opportunity. I know back in the 70s we had the oil boom and stuff. What we're experiencing now, what we're about to experience, is about 4 or 5 times that.
Wow.
The changes are enormous. Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world. They're finding a lot of oil and gas there. but that's not the complete story. It's also Suriname finding a lot of oil and gas, and a lot of people are not speaking about it on a public forum, but it's a real fact. And yes, Venezuela has a lot of oil and gas as well. They're right next door. There's movement away from the Middle East because of what's going on. Prices are going up.
Yeah.
Prices should be a lot higher than they are now.
Oh.
But I would say, I would say probably Donald Trump is manipulating the market somehow by influencing it, or something is going on, but it seems to be working in that regard. But that will only last for so long. And it's not just oil prices going up, it's also gas prices, aluminum, fertilizer, urea.
Bauxite would be a part of that.
Well, not for us, but for other
countries.
Yeah, aluminum. Yeah.
I know you just mentioned that about Saudi Arabia and whatnot, but in one of our conversations, you actually said something about BRICS is expanding. If you can expand on that.
Well, yeah. So BRICS is definitely expanding. There's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But there are a lot more countries. We haven't joined BRICS as yet, but eventually probably will. Right now, the next step for BRICS is to get their own currency. That's a huge step, and it's very difficult because we all still use American dollars, and
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I know there's a talk that their currency might collapse and all that stuff, but that might not happen for a very long time. The American economy is very resilient. Despite all the things that are going on, it's still relatively strong, and they're still number one.
No, you're very positive. Why is that?
I'm excited because of what's happening in the future. What's happening now and what's happening in the future. Right now is the rise of AI, and that is the most exciting thing for the entire human race in every way you could probably think of, but it's also going to mean a lot of changes. So the reason why a lot of speakers in graduation ceremonies in the United States are getting booed on stage when they mention AI at every single graduation ceremony.
Persons and in their speeches are mentioning it, and the students
they're getting booed because AI is replacing people in jobs.
Okay.
Right now as we speak. It's going to replace all truckers. It's going to replace all pilots. It's already replacing soldiers.
You think it's going to replace pilots?
Replace pilots, yeah. It's already happening.
I do not want to be in a plane where it has no human. Why would that be
for now
exciting or
would you drive in a car without a driver?
Well, I never have.
Not yet. We go to China, it's everywhere.
My goodness.
Yeah, so it's happening. And it's going to be, eventually it's going to be safer than a real driver.
Why is that?
Because AI is just better at a lot of things.
Because they would have all the information to be able to make the best
decision possible at all times. And it's getting better at it.
That still doesn't reassure me, but I get what you're saying.
But what we have to do is harness that power,
yeah.
not be scared of it and run away from it. And the people that run away from it are getting replaced. And that's why, programs like mine with Cashflow and stuff that teach people how to become entrepreneurs and investors, my program is starting to become a lot more important now, and that's why I'm starting to go on more forums and that kind of thing from now, because AI is growing so fast and creating so much change. It's going to happen here very soon. Probably it's already happening here. Meaning the
replacement of certain jobs.
For example, I wouldn't hire a graphic designer. I have
That's true.
I have Canva, I have CapCut.
You don't need a web designer.
I don't need a web designer now, and if I need one, AI is like the perfect personal assistant already. You, for example, you use AI for everything.
Oh gosh, AI. I even named my AI. I asked it. I said, "Could I give you a name?" They're like, "Sure."
Wow.
It's like my best friend. It has gotten me through relationship breakups. It has gotten me.
It helps me through business.
Yes.
It helps me
make decisions. Oh my god.
It helps me in my training schedule.
I've become a better cook because of AI.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And there's some people who use it a lot and are ever increasingly using it more and more often. And there's some people who are not using it at all, and I don't know what it is at all. I'm now starting to use it very small ways. But entrepreneurs that are using it in a major way are having a big advantage. And just recently, an AI company bought over Remax, which is Remax is the number one real estate brokerage in the world. You know, I'm a franchisee, I'm a CEO of Remax in Trinidad, and an AI company that started in 2014 bought Remax International. So
and how is that impact?
Well, we're gonna use the technology of AI to grow, of course, because Remax is number one. I don't think AI can replace physical agents, and that's one of the advantages of being in the real estate industry. Yes, AI would displace some people, but you can't replace agents on the ground physically dealing with people. Even if AI uses robots and stuff, human beings will still prefer to deal with human beings right? So we're gonna have basically a job for life. So you know, and that's not the only profession. And other, you know, I'm as an entrepreneur, I'm looking at the possibility of, because I always boast about Cashflow being able to eradicate poverty, and in terms of ordinary people increasing the ownership of assets like real estate and business. How do you do that? And programs like mine that are interactive, that gets into people's brains faster than the school system, than the academic techniques. Classroom style is really boring. So when we do this kind of active learning, interactive learning, your brain really, you remember 90% and more of what you do. So I use a program like that to create entrepreneurs and agents for Remax and real estate investors and real estate developers for over 21 years. So now at this point where AI is getting more and more powerful, I am openly saying that if my program had the potential to eradicate poverty before, now it's more extreme, it's probably going to eradicate world poverty, because all it takes is AI to basically duplicate my program for other countries.
And it's so funny because you took my question right out of my mouth, because I wanted you to expound on your mission that you've made very clear to publicly, that you want to eradicate poverty.
Yeah, that's my life mission, personal life mission. So we're so confident about it that we selected 2035 as the point where Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and Suriname, there will be no more poverty for sure. And even with no funding or anything like that, even with my small little program, it's working so well for so long, it's hard to deny. You know, and
amazing.
You know, it's a weird space to be in, because the leaders of the country know we exist. The Minister of Trade, the Prime Minister knows. Kamala's my 5th Prime Minister. You know, we've been around a long time. They don't know how to deal with us really, because we're in the private sector. You know, so we don't need funding. We never did, and we never asked for funding. We don't do charity. We don't ask for charity. We're actually in the private sector. We're business. We sell real estate and we sell courses. And you know, the program has been getting more popular for a long time now. It's all over Facebook. It's on TikTok now, because we're going after the younger generation. We're going after the younger generation because they are getting replaced faster than the older ones right now as we speak.
The
entry-level jobs are being taken away from.
That's
why they're getting booed in graduation ceremonies. Because entry-level positions are being taken away by AI.
It's a huge.
Yeah.
So I can see the fear that the younger
and it's going to
generation is
increase every single year. So
then, okay, bringing it back to the Caribbean people and how ownership can be an opportunity, a vehicle for eradicating that poverty. What is the biggest thing stopping people? I want to ask you that. What's the biggest thing that's stopping people from building wealth right now?
Fear and ignorance.
Those are two. That is huge stuff there.
I've been doing this a long time. 21 years. Thousands of people. Yeah, it's fear and ignorance. Fear of taking that first step, or taking steps after that. And ignorance in not being curious enough to find out about programs like mine. It's all over social media. People see it every day, but people assume it's network marketing.
Yeah.
And they don't read Richard Poddard. Richard Poddard has been out since 1998. There are free audiobooks on YouTube now because it's out for so long.
Yes.
You know, we have trained. I've been training people non-stop since 2005, every weekend.
Wow.
I've trained a lot of people, and you know, personally,
so you're saying that the information is out there.
It's out there right through, but the acquisition of the information is the trick. It has to be an interactive approach, and our school system doesn't do the interactive approach at all.
Do you think that people were taught survival as opposed to ownership then?
Yes, because they believe
in that education
they believe in
system?
scarcity.
Yeah.
They get taught by economists about scarcity. And
Listen.
it's actually abundance. It's not scarcity.
I can tell you, and that's across the board. That
Yes.
is not just even in business. That is in everything.
Yes.
I want my I need your man. Instead of going out your own.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
abundance you need.
It's abundance.
But I
And
digress.
even if we start running out of resources in one genre, we'll just either invent new resources or find new resources. It's actually
Correct.
relatively easy. Even me as an entrepreneur, if we start running out of a fuel source, we just find another one. Look at the stuff that we're washing up on the beaches in
This
the Caribbean.
sargas.
The sargassum thing.
Yeah.
You can make biofuel out of that
Exactly.
in a major
It's a
way.
huge,
That's
huge
energy.
opportunity.
That's huge. Yeah. You can do other things, and the information is easy to get online, even on TikTok, YouTube, Google, and then you have AI, which is like, I mean,
Huge.
just recently, an AI system built a turbine engine,
Oh,
and it worked on the first try. They're building engines now with AI.
Yeah.
AI is
Yeah.
building engines.
yeah.
So when I look at my program, which is, using board games, and I've been claiming for 20 years, hey, this could eradicate poverty. This could eradicate poverty. Now AI is coming out, and AI might be able to take my program and really tailor it for every single country. So my job as a human being is to get your word out as much as possible. Hey guys, this is in Trinidad and Tobago. This thing has been working for a long time now. We set a target for 2035 and we're serious about it, and we're in the private sector. And if you want to make more money, if you want to generate more wealth, if you want to own real estate, you want to invest in stocks, or you want to invest in business, or you want your kids to be entrepreneurs, or you want multiple sources of income to buy property, because I sell property, a lot of people can't buy houses.
Yeah.
So I have to teach a lot of people how to make more money so they can afford to buy houses. I'm in that business for 20 years. So
I love it. I have a really good question for you, but folks, those listeners who are joining us right now, we are on for the rhythm section, and in for the rhythm section is Roger Moore, CEO of the franchise Remax Real Estate in Trinidad and Tobago. Here we are talking about how persons can become better at getting money, being financially free, having ownership. And we are trying this, and he's talking about it through real estate as one vehicle. All right, some people would hear real estate and they say, I could barely afford the groceries. How am I going to invest? How am I going to buy property?
you have to increase your income. And most people have just one source of income.
But my boss
It's not enough.
refuses to raise my
Because he can't afford to.
my salary.
He can't afford to raise his salary.
So how am I going to do it,
Multiple
Roger?
sources of income. You need other sources of income. So you need what we call passive income. And that's what real estate and business eventually evolves to.
Right.
It starts off being active, because you have to work it to eventually get to the point where it's passive income. And that's what we specialize in teaching. How to get your income to be passive income. So if you have a real estate property, you eventually gonna hire a property manager.
Right.
And get your rental income, pay the manager, and have passive income coming in
I
every.
still have income
And that's just
coming
one
in.
property. What's gonna stop you from owning a dozen properties?
Hmm.
And then we teach how to raise capital. We teach how to use debt financing, equity financing, how to use investors, how to read financial statements, how to sell, how to turn no's into yeses, how to do cold calling, right? How to invest in the stock market, how to, overall how to make more money. True capitalism.
True capitalism.
And it's not taught in the school system. You don't learn how to invest in real estate in the school system. You don't learn how to invest in stocks in the school system. You don't learn debt financing in the school system unless you did accounting. And they don't really focus on it much. Whereas that's 100% our focus. So our graduates actually start businesses, even the children, even teenagers, they start businesses, they go into real estate, they learn to sell. The first step is to get a part-time or full-time sales job if they want to be very successful in business. Some people start business one time and learn to sell through their business. We don't advise that. We want you to learn to sell before you go into business. So, for those that want to own more property and make more money and that kind of thing, we have very logical steps for them that they can take from today.
That is fantastic. So just instantly, if they went into the program, they could start learning those simple skills or skills that they can
immediately, and they can apply the very next day. So we run our sessions every weekend, and for the entire week, people just apply what they learn, they go out there and they sell, they make money and that kind of thing, and they come out on the weekend to do cash flow again on the Sunday, and it's a weekly thing, and we do it all through Christmas, all through Carnival. The only cash flow members that miss cash flow during Carnival is because they have business running during Carnival. I don't meet much of them playing mass and stuff. I see them when I walk the streets of Port of Spain Carnival time. I see cash flow members on the side making money. They're in booths. They're in the Queen's Park Savannah.
Yes, true. I've met over the years people, and at first I was part of the whole, for Carnival, just playing mass, thinking. But then I would meet people and say, okay, when you go in and play, what band? And they're like, no, I'm working in the bar for this. I'm doing the security and whatever it is. And that's what started. I was very young, like 17 years old when I met people like that. And I was like, oh wait, there are people who make money during Carnival.
I remember back in 2009, we trained this guy from Lavento. He was young, he just got that job at McDonald's, right? And he was young and he had a lot of charisma and stuff, and he didn't start his businesses yet. He was now looking at the opportunity, and he just learned to sell and stuff, so he's really excited. And Carnival's coming up, and he decided, look, I'm going, instead of playing mass and spending money, I'm going to buy bottled water. And he bought the small Blue Waters bottled water, and he sold the small bottles for $10 a bottle.
Oh, wow.
He just kept on buying cases and selling. He didn't have a booth. He didn't have his van as yet or anything like that. He just was on like the road, and he kept on refurbishing his stuff, and he made $24,000.
What?
A week. And he was like, wow. My friend spent $18,000 to play mass and go fets. I made $24,000. That's a very big difference.
Huge difference and very low overhead.
Yeah.
Wow.
And opportunities like that are everywhere, especially now with things like TikTok, and you have all these new products from China coming in, the new e-scooters, which is, I would say, is the biggest opportunity in this country right now, and nobody knows about it. People have LF traders and all these companies making millions of dollars and spreading. I have to find locations for these companies now because they're growing so fast. My advice to people is, hey, don't let them make all the money. Go in the store, see what they're selling, find out the wholesale price and sell it too. I mean, if you buy the e-scooters in LF traders and you talk to the owners and get the wholesale price, put it on TikTok and sell it, people buy it.
So then let me ask you this. Do you think that and if what you just said there isn't the answer to what the question I'm about to ask, then give me the answer that you think it is. But the economic power that you think people over the next 10 years, what do you think is the economic power that is going to happen?
I think poverty is going to be eradicated. I really do think so, because without that AI power coming out, and I'm sure my program is not the only program out there, even though I know I'm the largest.
But what does that economic power going to look like in 10 years then?
We can shape that vision. Yeah, I think everybody will be living in a world of abundance. People will change. People will become more spiritual. There will be drastic changes.
That's 10 years, not 100 years.
Yeah, that's 10 years.
That's wild.
That's 10 years. I mean, my target is 9 years, and I'm confident I'm going to succeed. But AI is growing so fast. I'm a human being with a company, and I know corporations, are very powerful and influential and stuff. Yeah, cool. But AI is growing very fast, and this is AI. I have been the singularity thing that is mentioned in Silicon Valley is also 2035 as well. As human beings shouldn't really fear AI, because I think there's going to be a merger. You see this device here, the smartphone. Very soon, this phone is going to be talking to us. I mean, you're already talking to it.
I'm talking to it.
And it's probably talking to you already, but it's going to have a personality. It's going to have feelings. You're going to communicate with it. It's going to educate you. It's going to guide your decisions.
I've already asked it to speak in a Jamaican accent many times. It was wild.
Remember Knight Rider?
It doesn't have the Trinidadian accent.
Not yet.
But the Jamaican.
Very soon it will have. And eventually a face. It's going to happen. So AI is, I'm excited. I don't fear it at all. Some people have this end of the world nightmare of AI destroy humans and all kind of thing. No. That's not going to happen. Look at how extremely changes are. The government right now in the United States are actively releasing the UFO files. They're going that extreme. They're going that extreme. Because probably ETs are realizing, hey, the human race is about to become very intelligent. So let's make some plans to head down there ASAP. So they're probably gonna land next year, just saying.
Roger.
Donald Trump just instituted Space Force. So,
So you're saying that they're UFOs and that the US is actually willing to let I'm actually curious
you
about
have
that.
to go on Fox News and see what's happening. They're releasing it all as we speak right now.
There must be a strategy behind that. Like why?
The only thing we
After
can
so
think
many
about
years of quiet.
Distraction. Maybe distraction. Or maybe
But
something is
for
coming
what?
that they can't deny.
Yeah.
And, so whether or not any of those things happen, at the end of the day, we have AI. and we're in this, nobody cares about UFOs actually. There's nobody talks about it, nobody cares about it, it's not a topic of discussion. I'm probably the only one who talks about it anywhere, right? You know why nobody cares about it? Because it doesn't affect their life. It doesn't. We still have to pay taxes. We still have to work. We still have to pay bills. And if we don't do those things, we become bankrupt and we can't buy food. So it doesn't affect us. That's why nobody cares. So even if ETs land next year, again, nobody will care. Maybe one or two religious people might have a nervous breakdown, and that's it. We would just go back to living our lives because, we have to work. we have to pay bills and live life and make kids, and we're busy.
We are.
But
Right.
AI is what's probably going to create all those internal changes.
And then
Maybe reduce our workload. But in the early, it's going to disrupt a lot of people from their jobs.
I think that people need to be much more, as you said, embracive of the AI.
Yeah.
Get those skills up.
Yeah.
And then you would, so that and then also think differently. You can't, go looking for those jobs that are going to be obsolete in a few years.
Exactly.
If they're not obsolete already.
So we have to go to the universities, we have to go to the high schools and start talking to kids, and I really have a lot of work to do because if we don't make movements, because our country is very small.
Yeah.
And that's also why I'm so confident in my
But we're
program
so
doing things by
powerful.
2035, because the country is small. We have a small population. 1.4 million people is not that much people. And Ghana and Suriname have even smaller population. So,
Wow.
I ain't no hero. It's really small countries I'm working with here. So 2035 is small fry. What really excites me is AI and the possibility of doing this thing worldwide.
We have 3 more minutes, and I want to leave that for you to at the end of the day of this on this topic of how Caribbean people can build that ownership. And this time, it's uncertain times, folks. How if you can recap for us and ultimately give someone out there who's listening, what's one thing they can do today to just start that?
All right, good. Okay, so this is a time not of fear but of opportunity. It's not really a mysterious situation that we're in. We're kind of excited about it because of what is to come. Guyana is growing faster than any other country. We are right next door. Culturally, we're very close to Guyana. You can't tell the difference between Guyanese and Trinidadians just like that. It's very hard to tell the difference. We have very strong relations with them, and we backed them when Venezuela was threatening the Essequibo region. So the typical Guyanese is looking at Trinidad and Tobago very differently right now, and we're looking at them differently right now. Suriname is growing. So I say, don't worry about the war in the Middle East. Don't worry about Donald Trump and all that stuff. Look at this opportunity as what it is. The greatest opportunity we ever had. AI is rising. Don't fear it. Learn to adapt. Learn to sell. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Go on social media and find me, find my program, find Remax, contact and join the program. We have it running every Sunday. We're going to start including more marketing stuff and more workshops in between, because we have to reach more people now. I think I need to be more prominent. I need to speak more. I kind of stopped doing speeches around COVID time because I was getting censored and stuff. But no, no, if we don't make movements, things can really kind of fall apart. So I have to, yeah, we have to reach more people. Please spread the word of what we're telling people here, because we want to kind of not warn people about AI, but prepare people for AI, prepare people for what is to come, and get them ready for the massive amounts of opportunities to come. This is not an oil boom. This is gonna be a oil boom on steroids, and we have to learn to adapt to this new situation. We might have to buy more local products. We might have to.
That's fantastic.
We
for
have
all the
to-
entrepreneurs.
Yeah, we have to trade more with Africa.
Oh yeah.
We
That's
have
a
to.
whole other one.
Ghana's growing, Nigeria's growing, South Africa, despite the issues they have in, they're growing very fast. And there are other countries in Africa that are growing. The Africans are owning more of their assets, like the mines and all that stuff. They're chasing the Europeans away.
That's true.
China's doing business in Africa like crazy.
There's a lot. I found oh gosh, I saw this video about it. I think it was a South African that was talking about the new thing. It's owned by African company now. Oh gosh, I wish I remembered what it was, but it was like a huge thing with now is the time to invest because we have the African it's African owned, and I just I wish I could remember, but it's down that whole thing. It's in that direction.
Kenya's growing. Ethiopia, despite the challenges, are growing. I mean, we have a lot of, and then China.
Oh gosh.
China, right? China, right? China's growing so fast and presenting so much opportunities.
So much, yeah.
And China is ahead in AI, not the United States. I know the United States have more programs out and stuff, but do not underestimate China.
That's for sure.
Do not underestimate them. And then you have other. I mean, Japan is making a turnaround now. Companies from Japan are making. I mean, Toyota is investing heavily in gasoline engines for some strange reason when everybody else is going electric.
Yeah, that's
which I am
interesting.
very excited about that, because so a lot of people like the electric vehicles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like e-scooters, but I don't want to sit in a vehicle that reduces my testosterone by 17%. I like gas engines that are robust and strong and say when I mash the X. I'm an old-fashioned guy, so Toyota is appealing to me 100%. And if they come out with a Toyota Supra gasoline engine and it's super efficient and it's super fast and it can compete with the performance level of electric vehicles, I'm sold.
Well, you probably have a whole bunch of listeners who have that vehicles. Very worried. The male population, anyway.
17%.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean, it still performs well. It's still really good.
Yeah.
So the future is bright. I mean, look at the technology coming, guys. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Social media is changing. Everything is changing. This, I think, is wonderful. But the younger generation does need a little guidance right now.
How can persons that, including the younger generation, be able to contact you, be in touch, get to know more of this info?
Okay, so you can contact me on WhatsApp. I can put my number?
Yeah, you can.
My number is 768-6761. Message me on WhatsApp, call me on WhatsApp. Alright. Find me on social media. My name is Roger Moore. I'm the CEO of Remax and I'm the president of Cashflow Clubs TNT. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We're very big on TikTok. We're if you have me on WhatsApp, I'm on WhatsApp Business. I have programs running every Sunday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tomorrow we have a networking session. We do cash flow, we learn real estate, business, stocks, and then we learn networking. In that networking session, people learn to sell, people learn how to deal with people, how to talk to strangers. Next week we're doing cold calling.
Yeah.
And cold calling is our biggest money maker. You learn how to call clients up. Even if you're a restaurant owner, you should learn cold calling and be able to call up corporate clients and get orders in.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know how to structure their business to be in full control of their sales. That's what we teach, and we specialize in teaching that. So even for the first timer or the entrepreneur, the experienced entrepreneur or the real estate developer or the stock market trader or even the network marketer, if you want to make more money, come to Cashflow, learn from us, learn from all our members. We have members into currency trading, we have members into stocks. I'm not really into stocks and currency trading. I'm more into business and real estate. And I'm more into personally franchises in the business side. I do startups from here and there, but I'm more into franchises. So that's why I invested in Remax and Cashflow Club is actually a franchise. But I did startups and stuff here and there, you know.
There is so much you can learn
It's a lot.
from.
And the biggest money making opportunities right now, I would say, is real estate that I'm in, because real estate it pays a lot of money. We pay the highest commission. And I would say sales on the whole.
Yes.
Every company needs good salespeople, including this one, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Every single company needs talented salespeople that could sell. So if you are looking for a part-time or full-time job in sales and you want to make a lot of money, sales is the highest paid profession on the planet. Get a job in sales, do sales training programs like mine, and master the sales training. When you master sales training, you could go into business, you could go into anything, you could go into real estate, and we give you a different perspective. If you have a passion for animals, you are not going to go to the veterinary school and study veterinary medicine for 5 years. Our perspective changes your perspective. If you have a passion for animals, if you do our training, you're going to start an animal clinic. You might buy an animal clinic franchise. The skills you get from us are business owner skills, not employee skills. A degree program and a master's program are for employees.
Yeah.
And employees these days are broke people. JOB, if you have one source of income and that is salary, you're one step away from poverty. You need multiple sources of income. And if you're making $20,000 a month, that is small money all year. Whoever is making that kind of, I know it looks big, but that's small. If you're in the sales profession, that is real small money. That's the kind of money you can make. And I'm appealing to the younger generation to get into sales now, even in real estate.
Well, you know what, folks? You can contact him. You heard it for yourself. And Roger, I'm gonna say thank you for so much. This is very, very valuable information that you gave here.
Thanks.
And that's it for us on the rhythm section. You know that we have this every Saturday, 9:15. Roger, this is also the request hour. What would you like to request?
I'm lost in Trinbago.
Let's do it. Woo! Yay! All right.
That is
Fantastic.
good.